In this episode, we are going to get the engine out of the Liberty for access to the gearbox. Sorry it took so long. This is like 4 or 5 days in the making, but hope you guys enjoy. If you didn't know, we're going to put this gearbox into the Red Forester that has the built EZ30. Alright guys, so I'm going to be filming like 3 or 4 different episodes while I'm doing this, because I'm going to be taking parts off and they're going to be in their own little video. Might see strut brace go first. We'll do a video on that. Then we've got to drain the coolant out. I have not removed an EZ30 before, so this is a first, so bear with me. But we'll start with the aftermarket stuff. So strut brace and these coilovers, the BC coilovers will come out. We're going to put the stock Bilsteins back in so we can move the car around still. Alright, let's get this engine out. So first up, I'm going to get that red tub under the car. I'm going to pull the little valve from under the radiator. Hopefully it's got one. Let it drain, and while we're doing that, I'll get the intake off, the engine cover. We'll get this intake out, so the filter out. We'll get the coolant bottle out. Alright, it's out. You can hear it, it's going pretty slow. But once we release the cap, it should come out quicker. Oh, there we go. Wasn't turning it far enough. Right, let that drain. And start getting everything else off. Get that off. Alright, so I've got this intake off here. It was the 2 clips, pretty easy to get off. And then we're going the airbox out. There's 2 10mm bolts. There's one there, and then one about 100mm up, just below that wire there, and then there's one over here. So just get a spanner onto that, just get a long socket onto that one, so long, and yeah, and a spanner, so we should be able to get that out. Disconnected the airflow meter sensor. Alright, so we'll get the back side off first. You can see here, it's got a clip, so it goes around one of the hoses. And then, be able to, oh, this has got the resonator in it. So, this is what the resonator also does. Collects all the dirt. Wow. Let's have a look at that filter. Look at that. This is a K&N. So this is really, really dirty. This has not been serviced in a long time. That's really bad. This is bugs, and hopefully we don't have like a rat's nest or something. Yeah, this is obviously an oiled K&N filter, and you can tell it's been oiled. Yeah, relocate the washer bottle. Big intercooler pipe can come through there with no cutting. Well, that is a massive hole to have there for a said turbo to come through. Big exhaust, big turbo, water to air intercooler. Not in this. Maybe one day, but not in this one. Alright, we'll get the cover off now, and we'll get the rest of the intake off up to the throttle body. Alright, we've got the intake off, pretty easy. We've got 2 10mm bolts here, and then this hose here is a breather, and you can just undo that clip with your fingers. Pretty easy. So onto there. Now looking in here, there it looks like there's a bit of oil, so we needed a good catch can system on this. I do wonder what this would sound like without the all the baffling in it. we need to disconnect fuel, coolant, and power. We've got these here running into a loom that goes through the firewall. We have the front one here that goes to the AC alternator, and the power steering is in a different loom. So I want to keep everything connected on the engine. Obviously we're going to have to undo this front one here. You just can't just disconnect it from the fuse box. That's okay. So all the sensors and stuff will stay on by the looks of it. We'll obviously have the O2 sensors further downstream, which I think they're pretty much straight down. We'll find that those wiring looms and work that out. And then we just have the two up here, so we'll get this expansion off. Alright, I got the radiator out. So we've got two mounts up the top, which are these ones, the 12s. The hardest part is the wiring. So we've got one plug, then we've got a unit on the radiator fan shroud, which feeds both of them. And we've got two upper pipes. We've got a lower one, a hose. Good. Top, one at the bottom. Show you this little fan unit here. So on the corner here. So I did break it a little bit. And then we have the wiring going out to both the fans. Alright, so I've been working for quite some time now. It's 12:30, I think. No, it's 1 o'clock. Yeah, the GoPro turned off on me, so I just went ahead and went for it. So I've got the power steering over here, got the AC over there. All the bell housing bolts are undone. All the coolant lines are off and drained. I just did the fuel, so that's why the purple rag's there. So what I need to do tomorrow is take the exhaust off, engine mounts, and we should be able to get it out. I got this engine leveler today, well actually technically yesterday, so we should be able to get it out quite easy. I have put the rear wheels from the Forester on, so we've got a bit more of a tilt, so we can get under there a bit better. But yeah, all the wiring loom is disconnected. Evap system is disconnected. Just need to find 4 points to bolt it up to. So probably here, here, and we'll go there, there. Use that hook. We'll take these earths off and we'll use one of them, and we should be good. So it's got multi-layered gaskets, as you can see there, the metal ones. But man, look at the intakes. They're bad. Leaky seal at the front. Yeah. Got a few K's on her, but man, I don't think she was looked after very well. And there's found some mouse poo down there. All of this wiring conduit is just crispy. Broken a couple of connectors. Yeah, things are brittle. Okay, it's been a few days. Let's get back to it. We need to drop the exhaust manifolds and get engine mounts off. So pitch stop mount and the two underneath. Then we should be right to get this out. Alright guys, the exhaust is off. Now to do the engine mounts. So the two under here and the pitch stop at the top. Alright, the nuts are off the mounts on the bottom. Pitch stop mount is done. Thought I'd nearly done everything. I was just triple checking everything. And we have some earth straps underneath. So these little braided wires we're going to disconnect. So just 10mm, one on that side, one on the other side as well. Alright, I've got the engine leveler on. That took a little while, and then I need to service the engine crane, so some more oil in there. Yeah, so I've lifted it up just a little bit, but yeah, it's time to split the block from the gearbox and get this thing out. Alright, day 3 of trying to get the engine out. Watched a video today of a guy getting a gearbox out, and it took him like 7 hours. They are just stubborn sometimes. There's 2 dowels, obviously the pilot bearing in the middle that potentially could get rusted. I guess, yeah, I'll get this, what do you call it, shaft, bolt, rod, I don't know. I'll get that out. Hopefully that helps. That'll loosen that fella up, but we're not getting the gearbox out just yet, so don't know if we need to get that out. We'll find out. Alright guys, day 4 of trying to get the engine out. Now yesterday I disconnected the slave cylinder, and the point on it was actually really stuck in the fork. I'm starting to think that the throwout bearing is stuck to the clutch. So, because when I took that off, I could move it out just probably about 5 to 10mm more. Everything's off, guys. I'm struggling. I probably put maybe 8 hours into this. I'm trying to get this pin out as well. I've got a bolt in there. She doesn't want to move. So maybe if I get the engine connected back to the gearbox so it's flush, we might have a better chance of getting the pin. Oh, there we go. Right, so this, it didn't want to come out before. That was actually luck. Yeah, let's. Alright, so the fork is definitely off the throwout bearing there. Let's see if we can get this off. Fingers crossed I can. Alright, it's moved out a lot more. Yeah, this is coming out now. So, my guess, the throwout bearing is stuck. Yeah, I just tilted the leveler and it just came apart. Alright guys. Yep, throwout bearings on the clutch. Alright, we're going to get that clutch off because I can't get it onto the engine stand with the clutch on. So get the yugga dugga onto that and pop that off. finally got it out. So if you do have an EZ30 with a manual, make sure you take that pin out of the fork for the throwout bearing, because the throwout bearing is actually on the clutch. I don't know what type of clutch that is, but it looks like it's pretty worn. Bit of heat there. It's double sprung. Alright guys, next episode we're going to get the gearbox and diff out, and we'll clean it up.